We can't discuss the season 15 RHOA reunion without first covering the looks. But that's not what it's all about. But I must tell you, one thing about the RHOA, it doesn't matter how uneventful the season was, the reunion fashions will always be an event. Season 15 was no different. The ladies gathered in an assortment of blue hues. Everyone pulled out the stops. Sheree Whitfield showed up with her new nose. Marlo Hampton debuted a Titan Ozempic body. Sanya Richards Ross was glowing with a baby bump. And Kenya Moore served severe underboob and lots of feathers. It was all a feast for the eyes. Marlo, RHOA's resident fashion expert, got to go down the couch and react to each lady's fashion. Surprisingly, she was kind to most of her castmates, but admitted that she wasn't living for Kenya's 1940s inspired hair. Kenya was ready with the clapback. She knew that stuff didn't look right. And when she said Marlo looked like Mrs. Roper from Three's Company, honey, Miss Roper never looked that elegant. One of the first bombshells of the reunion came during Kenya's segment. Andy Cohen asked her about Mark Daly's ongoing legal fight over their daughter, Brooklyn. Kenya revealed that because of the scene in Birmingham, Alabama, where Marlo was banging on Kenya's door, Mark had referenced Marlo in their court battle. As if you dating another dude didn't have anything to do with that either, but let's move on. So Kenya served Marlo with a subpoena to appear in court and testify on her behalf. The idea of someone getting served with a subpoena on a reunion stage is kind of iconic. On paper, that's brilliant, shady, and cutty. However, it all fell flat when we returned from commercial break to learn that the subpoena was actually blank. Kenya said they must have printed the wrong one. Andy handed the paper back to her like a disappointed school teacher. Of course, Kenya has no shame for getting caught in her lie again. Also, the way she attacked Marlo during the segment where they spoke of Marlo dating the guy she's currently dating, she's always making reference to Marlo being a prostitute. That is getting old, okay? And very disrespectful at this point. Now, one of the most bizarre feels of this season that we revisit in part one of the reunion was the feud between Sheree and Kandi Burruss. From Candy's lack of support for the She by Sheree to her poor attendance record for cast events. Sheree had a never-ending bone to pick, and although they made up middle of the season, that went out of the window because Sheree had a lot to say to Kandi at the reunion. They straight up cursed each other out for a solid minute on the reunion. Much of the animosity came from Kandi questioning Sheree's honesty about her cosmetic work. According to Sheree, the only thing she had done is a slight nose job, which was actually because of some breathing issue, she said. No one believed that for a second. During the exchange, Sheree yelled, "Big face, little face," okay? And I guess she's making reference either way. I look good. Well, she does look attractive, but I think she should stop there with her face. As Candy threw shade at She by Sheen, Sheree clapped back, telling Candy to go mop the greasy floors at her restaurant. She then pulled out a bunch of printed copies of a faux newspaper called called She's or She News, essentially dedicated to ripping Candy apart and tearing down her businesses. Candy said that maybe Sheree should print some fashion instead of printing these little pamphlets. But everyone on the couch got a copy, and we'll probably be seeing this She by Sheree News at this year's BravoCon Museum. Although Candy's restaurants have struggled, it's wild for Sheree to try to criticize anyone else's business. Annie asked her if She by Sheree had turned a profit yet. Sheree explained that most companies don't turn a profit for the first 2 or 3 years. Sheree started talking about She by Sheree in 2008, y'all, but admitted to Andy that the business still needs to turn a profit. And it does, because she just released some new things, though. And was Sheree doing too much? Absolutely. You know, the last video I talked about why Drew would have one of the first seats because of all of the conflict and drama and that went on in her life this season. Although they sat Candy on the far side of the couch, she was in the hot seat for a good chunk of the RHOA reunion. For her not to have been there, not only did she have to face off against Sheree, but she had unfinished business with Drew Sidora as the two revisited the Kiss Gate. Remember whether Drew kissed LaToya or not? So, did Drew and LaToya ally make out? We still don't know for sure. Candy was adamant that she saw them kiss. But when she asked Marlo if she saw it, Marlo said she was only 80% sure. You could tell that answer irritated Candy at the time. However, Marlo said that Drew has been swearing up and down on her children's life that she did make out with LaToya. So it's hard to tell who's telling the truth or who is more accurate or not. And I really don't blame Marlo. Let Candy settle her own differences with Drew. I would have left it at that. I don't know. But at this point, do we really care? Candy went on to say that she felt so strongly about this situation that it actually changed how she saw Drew and Ralph Pittman's divorce. And I feel the same way as Candy does about Drew and Ralph's divorce. Candy explained that while we all thought Ralph was the gaslighter, this situation proves that Drew was probably just as bad. The lies. That's coming from Candy. Drew was asked about her shady comment filming Candy and Todd Tucker's movie, The Past. During the aggressive 10-day shoot, Drew said on camera that she was only doing Lifetime or above, moving forward when taking on projects. Drew is ungrateful. She kind of knew what she was getting into. It's not like Candy and Todd has Disney budget, and she got more out of doing the movie than compensation. Allegedly, that's what I heard. So she forgot how low budget her video was. A skating rink? Girl, please. When Candy got a chance to reply to the shade, she simply said to Drew, "Good luck." Since this reunion is only part 2, Annie brought the friends out to the stage in record time. Monyetta Shaw came out in her slacks ready to discuss the collusion she witnessed this season. Now everybody's saying she was boring this season, and she's boring this reunion. The only thing she did was try to keep up mess. If anyone deserves a participation trophy for this season, it should be her. And she also agreed and collaborated with a lot of messy things that were going on between and with Candy and her oppositions, and Kenya as well. And on the other couch rather, cousin Courtney Rose arrived. There's no denying she was this season's villain. She landed in the hot seat within a minute of her getting onto the reunion stage. The first question for Andy: how exactly are you and Raph cousins? Courtney explained that her dad's sister, aka her aunt, is married to Raph's uncle. Okay? Drew called her a fake cousin, which we were all thinking this whole time, in which Courtney replied that Drew, everything about you is fake. When Courtney sat down, Drew pulled a plum out of her purse and threw it at her. The plum might have missed, but the shade landed. She didn't get a peach. Instead, she got a plum. Andy took a bite out of the plum, trying to defuse the situation. But Drew, word on the street is that none of y'all are getting a peach, allegedly. Then Drew felt the need to give Courtney a verbal lashing. Courtney kept asking her, so what you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Of course, the season finale, Courtney made comments about Drew's marriage, her children, and her sexuality. We were all waiting for this, and Drew finally took the gloves out, holding Courtney accountable for what she said. But Drew, you didn't say that she lied. Drew accused her of being coached by Raph throughout season 15. Girl, your man don't like you. I said that last episode. So next week, this man that does not like his wife Drew, Raph, will join the stage to share his side of the story. Judging by the trailer, this isn't going to end well. So y'all tell me what you think about this story, and as always, I thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.